Yeah, it was really exciting to get that bid. In a normal year, sometimes you might have to wait, you know, 4 or 5 days for the selection show. So we were definitely grateful for the quick turnaround. After we lost a heartbreaker the night before in our region championship game by 2 points. So we knew that we'd be waiting around until 5:30 on Sunday to see if our names were going to be called. So obviously we were all really, really excited. And I was just so excited for our girls, especially. These young women qualified last year and won the region and won the district and didn't get to go due to COVID. So it was a really exciting moment.
You mentioned exactly what I was going to mention. Last year, you guys have had such an interesting journey, just like everyone, to get here. Does that make it, a little bit more special that you guys get to play? And a lot of these girls, I'm sure, coming back from last year as well.
Yes, it does. I mean, we have seven players from last year's team that were a part of that team that went and won the region and the district. And we went to the selection show and saw our names then. We knew we were in with the automatic bid, but just the letdown with that and all the uncertainty of just the whole year. It definitely does make it a little bit more special. You're just even more grateful to be able to have the chance to come down here and compete.
What's the feeling in the locker room? Are the girls excited? Like what, especially it's been a long wait. I'm sure there could be some jitters there, but is it more so excitement or what is it?
Yeah, right now it's definitely excitement. I'll be honest, I thought we had more jitters before our region championship, and I'm sure we will have some tomorrow come game time, but just their energy and excitement has been really, really high. So, anytime we've been able to get on the court since we've been down here, I mean, they've been working extremely hard, and then just their energy has been contagious. It's made it really fun.
You guys had really high hopes, so it was obviously such a disappointment last year when you couldn't go. So now you have these 7 girls you mentioned returning. The high hopes kind of carry on and carry over into this year as well.
Yeah, definitely. What's crazy is our team last year, they made a video on my phone. I think it was in September. And it was, they passed the phone around and they were all saying, we're going to Texas. We're going to Texas. And so I posted that video when we won our district to be able to go. And then obviously we weren't able to. So even this year, they were like, hey, we have to make the video in September. I mean, they've been talking about it all year. Something that I've focused on this year is I was just trying to tell them like, hey, we have to be present all the time. Let's just enjoy the journey. And of course, we're going to work hard and we have our goals, but let's be present and just enjoy every moment because we just never know. And I think that we've tried to do that, but at the same time, they've been like, okay, yeah, we hear you, but we're going to Texas.
Well, what do you think it says about the resiliency of this team to be able to get through something like that? Everyone's been through a lot, but especially I would say sports more so than a lot of different things. And what does it say about the resiliency that they're able to get here again, repeat this?
Yeah, I think resiliency is the perfect word. I've described them as that all year because, again, all the uncertainty for college athletics in general, and then junior college is another level of uncertainty because they need to be able to play to get the next opportunity. So just to be able to work through all of that, in the beginning of our season, we were going from, we had 3 or 4 games, COVID popped up. And so we had to reschedule and just, we were saying every day, we're just rolling with the punches. We're taking one day at a time. And, but for them to really embrace that, and they're also doing something that no one has had to do with even the complete online and virtual course load. And so to take 15, some of them 18 hours of pretty much all online and virtual classwork and be able to balance that out with being a student athlete, I think resilient is the perfect word for them.
Moving to the game, what do you think of the matchup with Eastern Arizona? What's something you guys are looking out for tomorrow?
It's an exciting matchup. We both have some good size. We've been one of the biggest teams in our region, but they're probably the biggest team in their region, and they have even more size than we do. They're leading the country in rebounding margin. And we're coming off of in our region championship game, despite the loss, that was our best rebounding effort of the year. So we've just been talking about it all week. If we have that same effort, then I think we'll be in a good position. Both of us, I think, have some tough matchups for each other. I think our post players are a little bit more mobile than theirs, so we'll try to use that. But their best player is a 6'1" guard, and that's going to be a very difficult matchup for us. So I think it's an exciting matchup. I like that we're getting to play somebody completely out of region, and it's a lot different style of play. So I'm excited about that for our team.
You look at that Region 16 championship game. Obviously, that's a gritty game. That's a tough game. What's something, you can learn from that? It is a loss, but I'm sure there's something you can learn from that and carry into this game as well.
Yeah, I think the execution, offensively, the execution really down the stretch. In a 2-point game, whenever you win the rebounding war, you shoot very similar percentages. The turnovers are pretty much the same. It really comes down to the little things, and that's what we've talked about all week. Is that when two really good teams are playing, the little things are the big things. And so we went back and watched that film and just saw some blank possessions that we should have gotten a better shot or didn't run something correctly. So I think that is probably the biggest takeaway from that game.
The turnaround from that game to this game tomorrow, what has the preparation been like? You kind of just mentioned what you've been focused on, but what have you guys been doing up until this game?
Yeah, so over the last week, obviously trying to keep our conditioning. From this season, you're used to playing 3 games a week pretty much with this condensed schedule that we've played this year. So we've been playing a lot. We've been doing a lot of live scrimmage, a lot of getting up and down. We've shifted gears because Eastern Arizona plays, according to Synergy, our online database, 97% man-to-man defense, which we have only faced 3 to 4 times the entire season because our region just plays a lot of zone defense. So that has been a major emphasis in practice is getting back with our man-to-man offense so that we are able to execute, like we were talking about. So that rebounding and then really packing the paint. They do have some kids that can really shoot it from the outside, but pretty much everything is predicated on them getting to the middle of the floor. So that's pretty much been the emphasis in practice over the last week.
This entire time we've really been talking, I think the word to describe everything right now is obviously unprecedented. We've been hearing it everywhere, so down in Lubbock, tell me how things are. How weird is it? Is it different than what you've been used to?
It's been great down here. They've done a great job with the tournament. Of course, we talk about unprecedented. We had a coaches meeting last night and it was like 20 minutes on. If you're coming to watch a game, you come in this door, but if you're coming to play your game, then you go through this door. But when you leave, you go through another door. And when you're here, you can only use this bathroom, just all of those things. It's just like, you would have never thought, just a little over a year ago, that would have been unheard of that we have a meeting and we talk about which door you're using so much. So, but everything just, to try to keep all the teams healthy and safe. So I think that's probably the biggest difference, is just the focus on some things like that. But, to be honest, this is my first experience in Lubbock because we didn't get to come. So I don't have much to compare it to, but it is a really cool atmosphere. I mean, there's 3 other teams in our hotel and you can just feel everybody's energy and excitement to be able to compete in the national tournament.
I'm sure something like this, keeping the girls focused, keeping something in this, the whole bubble thing has always been said to, help keep focus a little bit, but how has the girls' focus been through all this? What's something about this team that makes them be able to get through this type of thing?
I think a couple things. I think one, their love for each other and their bond that they have. To sit in a dorm room, for the last, what is it, 8 months or something since August, and we've really tried to keep them bubbled up for their health and their safety. I mean, it's not necessarily fun. They haven't got to do much, but I think that their bond has really helped them through that, and that's even carried over into the postseason. Is that there's such a tight knit group, just of like-minded people. They have the same priorities. They want to compete at a high level, and they want to get the next opportunity, and they want to win championships. Of course, while being really good student athletes along the way. So I think that bond has really helped them through that, and just their love for the game and each other.
Obviously you still do have season left, but what do you feel like is something that you've really learned from this season? Obviously it's such a different season, but what do you feel like something you've learned from such an unprecedented year?
Yeah, I think going all the way back to last year, I think the biggest takeaway for me, again, was just really being present, because last year we were 29-4. We won our conference, we won our region, we won our district, we won everything we could have won, and we qualified. And we weren't able to go to the national tournament, to see our players tweeting like, it was a great year, but we came up short and stuff like that. I'm like, we didn't come up short. We did everything that we could have done. And I think we just had such an emphasis on the end result. And so just since then, kind of our mantra has been like, the journey is the reward. And, we all picked a word over for the new year when we did vision boards, and mine was present. And so I think just really enjoying every day and just kind of being where your feet are and not trying to skip ahead to the end result, because these memories with this team, I mean, they are the most I mean, we say all the time, like they're comedians, they're dancers, they're professional TikTokers. I mean, there's never a dull moment. So I've just really been trying to do a good job of just being completely present in each moment with them this year, because I mean, they've made it fun, and they've made it so enjoyable. And I think that these are memories that I'll have for a long time, is of course the wins and things like that, but really just the day-to-day experience with them.
Do you feel like that's the word to describe this team? Obviously, off the floor a little bit, is present throughout this tournament, enjoying something they couldn't have last year?
Yeah, I think the a few of those were resilient, and then yeah, just being present and enjoying the moment. I definitely think that. And again, this group, I think all the time, like, wow, they've handled this probably a lot better than I would have as a student athlete, because it is hard, and again, just all the uncertainty. And so I just have been thinking about coming into this weekend, is like, obviously we want to come down here and represent MACC and Moberly and Missouri. We just want to really compete with pride and class and toughness. But I just think this group of young women, they've already won. They're really good student athletes, several on the dean's list. They're great people, really high character. When you go junior college, you're trying to get the next opportunity at the 4-year level. And almost all of our sophomores have done that. We have 7 kids moving on to the next level. So I'm so proud of everything that they've done. And I just hope that we can come down here and just compete to the best of our ability.
You mentioned making MACC proud. What's the response been like from the community? Obviously, did you guys get to have a send off? I saw that was in the plans. Did you guys get to do that?
Yeah, we did. We had a send off, and it was awesome. Our booster club members and supporters are just, they are so supportive all the time, of our team. And in my first year, when we didn't win as much, they were so positive and just behind our team 100%. So it was great to see them. They just came to see us off on the bus, and I mean, provided us with like a lifetime supply of snacks. So just snacks and drinks, waters and Gatorades and all that stuff. So it was awesome. I mean, it's fun to be in a place where people really care about it, and care about our student athletes as players and as people. So that's what makes it just really rewarding.